I'm a believer in geomancy. I've seen it work. In my building trades, I have seen what are called dowsers at work. We had a building site there where I was going to build this barn. This guy gets out and he takes out 2 swing rods and he starts walking with the swing rods, holding them in front of him over each of the stakes I had driven in the ground. He's walking, they're just kind of gently swaying back and forth. And I knew that the water main came into the property somewhere along there. So this guy, he goes walking over towards the driveway. All of a sudden, it looked like almost as if somebody had grabbed the ends of those swing rods, yanked them into an X, and then they bent, literally bending down. And then he took a couple of steps off, and they relaxed, straightened up, and went back to just... Then what he did was he walked in a zigzag fashion, and every time he crossed where the water main came in,
I think that's enough.
He'd get...
So what is geomancy? I mean, it literally means earth magic, but it's just dowsing. I mean, I'm sure you could tell that's what this is. You know, you have the dowsing rods, what he calls the slip sticks or whatever, slip rods. And that's it. He's just giving an anecdotal report of why, he's been convinced by people who are doing dowsing. This has been studied for a century. I mean, for decades and decades. This is often one of the first things that skeptical investigators cut their teeth on. I know when James Randi was still around and he was doing his $1 Million Challenge, he said like something like 90% of the people who were applying for the $1 Million Challenge, basically demonstrate some paranormal ability and you win a bunch of money. 90% of them were dowsers. They're all dowsers of one kind or another. So this is a very, very, very common type of pseudoscience, but it's been studied to death. And it's actually not that hard to study it in a scientific way, because all you got to do is blind the dowser to their target. So if you don't know where the water is, the power suddenly goes away. You are no more likely to get those rods to cross, where there is water or whatever your target is, whether it's moving water or static water or some other mineral or some other target, anything. Whatever your target is, if you don't know what is supposed to happen, then it's random chance. It's completely random chance. If you've never played with any rods like that, just do it. You could very easily show to yourself how easy it is to get them to move. Sometimes it's hard to keep them from moving, but even very subtle movements can cause those rods, to cross. And that can happen from what's called the ideomotor effect, which means that you can subconsciously make subtle motor movements based upon your expectations, right? So if you're thinking, I'm getting close to the water, this is where they're supposed to cross, you could make the rods cross without really being consciously aware that you're the one doing it. It's like the Ouija board effect as well, facilitated communication also works by the ideomotor effect. You're the one moving it. It's not anything else, not some external force, and you're just not aware of it. But again, it's very simple. If it were true, you could easily demonstrate that this ability, because all you have to do is just do a blinded experiment, and you could repeatedly show that it was correct. But decades and decades of research have consistently shown there is absolutely no effect going on here. There's no magic. There's no dowsing effect. It's all just the ideomotor effect. It goes away completely when you blind the dowser to their target.